Frogan finds out after ignoring Ethan Klein's frivolous lawsuit, and it will cost her everything. Apparently also, this could be life crippling. We'll have to look at this, right? How this turns out. This is a rough video. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And yeah, we'll go in. Apparently she just ignored it. And so he just won by default? Because she ignored it? That's all I know. Well, we'll go in.
Hey, what's up guys, Ruff here. So in this video, we'll be going over the very big and hilarious updates regarding the Ethan Klein copyright infringement lawsuits. As I'm sure most of you are aware, about a year ago, Ethan Klein filed 3 copyright infringement lawsuits against Caseytron, Denim's TV, and Frogan. And today we have some very big updates regarding Frogan. Ladies and gentlemen, the Froganator is absolutely cooked. She is now facing a
Yep, the Froganator is cooked. I don't know how this could happen, but to really just bring it down realistically, the harsh reality is that she just ignored it apparently. With a default, it's like he just won it basically because she didn't react. Not only that, apparently she's kind of using the money that she got, right? Because she did put up a GoFundMe. What was it, 30K? For something else. And apparently Wild Hearts has donated something and he's now complaining and wrote he wrote an open letter to her. So interesting.
A default judgment from the court, which could result in hundreds of thousands of dollars of damages. And this is truly going to affect her for quite some time. For someone who's been very recently e-begging for rent money, she's going to be accumulating generational debt from this. She'll be having her wages garnished for decades at the
right. This isn't like Caseytron where right. This isn't like Caseytron where Caseytron just settled, right? She apologized and settled, right? I wonder if this could have worked for Frogan as well if she just apologized and settled, but apparently that's not the case. That's so interesting. I don't know how this happened, but that's so interesting. Isn't it also still going on for Denims? I wouldn't. Well, that's 2 out of 3, right? Or 2 out of 4. Wait, Hassan didn't get hit, so that should be 2 out of 3, right? Down. Now only Denims is standing tall, still for now, but we'll have to see how that turns out.
Rate she is going, and it's completely and utterly self-created. Not only through her actions with the copyright infringement, but also, as we now know, her complete disinterest in responding to this lawsuit. This is the most, new age response to a serious situation I've ever seen, right? Just burying your head in the sand and hoping it will all go away. Well, guess what? It didn't, and now she is facing
legit like a child. Is that just me? But it's legit like a child. It's actually like, let's just hope it goes away. That's actually kind of like a kiddo. Well, not just kind of, that is definitely like a child. Let's just hope it goes away. Well, spoiler alert, as shocking as that is, it didn't. It didn't. It didn't go away. And now you are where you are. Kind of cooked.
major life-changing consequences. And of course, all this was done fighting a proxy battle for Hassan Piker, who never publicly or privately contributed to any of her legal defense fund or even seemed to give her any encouragement, despite publicly telling Ethan Klein to drop the lawsuits because they were so frivolous and that he would have no chance at winning. Well, he's now 2 for 3, and it is absolutely satisfying to see. Now, of course, we know one of the lawsuits was already settled, and that was with Caseytron, the human bong hit, who also reacted to the content nuke on Hassan Piker, and she would settle with Ethan Klein back in December of last year. And ironically enough, in her pre-recorded video titled Public Apology 1, she would not only admit to the copyright infringement, but would also state that Hassan Piker did absolutely nothing publicly or even behind the scenes to support her. But to this day, she still fervently defends the guy. I mean, that is just a complete lack of self-respect. But let's move on to Frogan. Okay, a lot of people considered Frogan to be the mysterious link in all this because people really didn't know what she was up to. She was very quiet about all of this. Well, it turns out there's not much to really get out of her activity because there was none. She has basically allowed this to play out to the point where a default judgment has been requested to the...
That's so odd. Yeah, it's just interesting, right? There's no way she gets out of this, by the way. She's cooked, right? She just lost the lawsuit, which is so interesting that she just straight up lost that thing, right? She lost it. And that's very interesting. I'm surprised that she did. I'm indeed surprised that she did. Wow.
courts. And you can see her initial announcement in June of last year promoting her related GoFundMe has been officially hit with a note saying Frogan has lost the lawsuit by default, meaning the money raised in the GoFundMe was not used for her legal defense. Now, this is the actual statement saying, it appearing from the records in the above entitled action that summons have been served upon defendants named below, and it further appearing from the affidavit of counsel for plaintiff and other evidence as required by federal rules of civil procedure 55A, that each of the below defendants, Frogan, have failed to plead otherwise, defend in said action, as directed in said summons, and as provided in the federal rules of civil procedure. Now, therefore, on request of counsel, the default of each of the following named defendants is hereby entered. Essentially meaning Frogan is cooked. The only sort of autonomy she has at this point is at the whim of the court. She is going to basically only try to...
Yep, Frogan is essentially cooked. She's not getting out of this. And actually, I'm quite happy. You know what? I'm actually quite happy that it turned out this way. The movie, I liked it. It was good. Nice. That's good to hear. That's awesome. That's very good. It's that simple. She's not getting out of here. And deservedly so. Get fucked.
To minimize the damages that are coming, and as we'll see, could amount in the hundreds of thousands. Now, you can see some of the reactions on social media to this update saying, kind of crazy how this basically ruined her career, if there was much to ruin. Can't say I've heard anything from her since this whole thing started. Good work, Ethan. And I've seen so many people say, I don't like Ethan Klein, but in this situation, in the related lawsuits, I'm rooting for Ethan Klein. He is by far the lesser of two evils, and the people who are subject to the law.
Yep. He is. I don't particularly like him either. But hey, he's less bad. So at this point, let him win. Let him win. It's that simple. Let him win. I don't care. Take her out. Then there's only one to go. Denims. Unless I missed something in because right, the lawsuit should also be going against Denims. So there's that, and I wonder how that's going to turn out, right? Just get Denims as well.
Lawsuits are insufferable, and now they are completely finding out. And you can see the actual copium at play here. Frogan is trying to act like nothing is happening, nothing is to worry about. She actually responded on stream. She was doing a no face cam stream, and I would play the clips, but it's filled with copyrighted music. But basically, what she's doing is saying, it's no big deal. That's life. Is it? Do people normally find themselves in situations where they're going to be...
See, so I wonder, right? I wonder if she... See, maybe... Nah, it would be... Is she that smart where she would put basically copyright music on it in it so people on YouTube can cover it? Because I very much wonder that. Right? I'm curious.
Paying up hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially and ruining their life for a very long time. No, that's not just life. That is the consequences of egregious and ridiculous actions. Now, of course, you can see people pointing out some very, relevant statements here saying, default judgment means she didn't even show up or respond. raised $50,000 on GoFundMe for legal defense, then just ghosted the case. That's the part worth talking about, and it certainly is. So we have our GoFundMe here, which people like myself have been saying since day one is the Ethan Klein pool of money. This is all going to Ethan Klein, one way or another, or she's going to try to basically snake her way out of this and use it for personal expenses, as we'll see. But $38,000 were raised.
So you're telling me she stole 38K from people, almost 39K from people, right? Is that what you're telling me? And she's using for anything but her own lawsuit. Can't people just sue her for that now that I think about it? Can't people just do that? Because I'm like curious, can't people sue her for this? Right? Can people just sue her for that? Because if they can, I think just like, hey, if somebody wants to do it, go ahead.
For her legal defense fund, which literally amounted to nothing. She did nothing with the money to help her legal defense fund. And you can see the absolute sheep who are giving money over to this. People giving as much as $10,000 to...
10,000? 10,000? 10,000? 10 fucking thousand. Giving that to her. 10,000. Wow, 10 fucking thousand is crazy. 10,000. Why would you, Scott? Why would you do this? Bro couldn't even do it anonymously. Bro just like had his name there.
Basically support this pocket of money for her to spend on personal things, because it clearly didn't go to her legal defense fund. And you can see some quotes here saying, "You leftist regards gave a fat woman thousands of dollars so she could not show up to court." Absolutely ridiculous. You know, Hassan in his orbit loved to use the phrase cattle to say how brainwashed and just completely out of touch people are. This is sheep behavior right here. Imagine giving money to these related GoFundMes. I cannot imagine being so naive and so stuck in an echo chamber you thought this was going to work out. Remember, everyone who was saying that Ethan Klein was going to crush them in the lawsuits was called delusional by the Hassan orbit. But there's really only one thing Frogan can really use to defend herself when it comes to the GoFundMe, and that, of course, is the vague language that she left at the bottom of her related campaign, saying, "This fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with this complaint, any counterclaims I may have against him," that doesn't matter anymore, "and any other bills and personal expenses from lost wages and damages arising from this litigation." Now, this is something that was pointed out by Legal Mindset, who of course is an attorney, saying unless Frogan can show some receipts, she may have violated GoFundMe's terms of service, specifically 8.2, which prohibits misleading or inaccurate fundraisers. GoFundMe took down Kyle Rittenhouse's LDF and others, so it's only fair they apply the same scrutiny to Frogan. And he would have further comments and talk about what this actually...
He calls a Frogie. Yeah, I think this is just the rational conclusion, right? This is just the logical reality, right? She wanted this, and now it's happening, right? This is just the logical conclusion. It is. That is the reality. She is getting, literally, what she asked for, right? She's literally getting what she asked for. That is what she asked for. She ignored it, and that's the punishment. But yes, interesting. Yeah, that is true. Misleading and inaccurate fundraisers. So yeah, I wonder if some people could sue her for that, and if they do, it's gonna be glorious. But I don't think so, right? Because the people that the people that donated her will ignore that, just like they ignore everything else bad she does.
Means and what Frogan might do to basically save herself from this immountable level of consequences she has created for herself.
And if you look at the actual liability, it's going to be large. It's going to be over 200K.
Judgment. Frogan clearly used her legal funds for personal expenses over the past year. Frogan is facing a massive 6-figure default judgment, likely 200k. Her plan is likely personal bankruptcy after the judgment. Frogan ate it all. Poke your stream was got marked for kids. Nope, it wouldn't. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to chat, you dummy.
Likely the statutory damages alone are up to 150k, and that doesn't include any of Frogan's profits or any of Ethan's lost revenue. So if they're able to cobble together 50 or 100k of lost profits or Frogan's revenues, something like that, as well as attorney's fees, because Ethan can tack his attorney's fees onto this, that certainly is going to be expensive, because we all know that Ethan has the best lawyers on this that are very expensive. That's certainly going to get over 200k. So we're looking at a six-figure amount. That's going to be a lot for Frogan, for someone who is constantly begging for money and saying she's broke. So what do I think her strategy is? I think it's to declare personal bankruptcy. I think her strategy all along has been to deplete these funds. So even if Ethan Klein wins, she can say, hey, that fund is empty. I already drained that fund. So you can't get anything from that. And I am personally broke. She will declare bankruptcy after the judgment. So, hey, you're not going to get anything from me. So I think that's her strategy. Now, that doesn't always work out. In some cases, there can still be liability attached. Now, that's going to be up for Ethan Klein to figure out that and fight that battle. But I think that's going to be her strategy in all of this. But without a doubt, we can.
Wow, that is so interesting. I truly wonder how that will turn out. I truly wonder how that will turn out. Because it is kind of crazy, isn't it? Right? It is kind of insane. So I really wonder how that will turn out.
Say that Frogan ate it all.
Yeah, like he said, she is at the whim of the court. She's at the whim of Ethan Klein. It's not a matter of whether or not she's going to escape the lawsuit. It's a matter of, is she going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, or is she going to declare personal bankruptcy and try to avoid as much as possible? Ethan has top-notch lawyers. He's paying a lot for them, so those legal fees are going to be pretty astronomical, especially for Frogan, someone who e-begs for rent money. But yeah, don't act like just because she declares personal bankruptcy, she's getting away with anything. That would ruin her life as well, okay? And again, completely self-created. And it all is because, well, she didn't put in the effort. She didn't even try. She didn't even have a lawyer just send in a response. Like, the cheapest, easiest thing, a one-page something. No, she did literally nothing. Now, going back to the Ethan Klein lawsuits, we're 2 for 3. 2 out of 3 have fallen. Of course, that leaves Denims. Denims, of course, is very loud.
The final Denims, chat. The final Denims. That is the last one Ethan Klein has to get. The final Denims. This will be the last one to get. And then finally, all of them are down. All of them.
On social media, and her copyright infringement lawsuit and legal defense fund on GoFundMe has...
It's a little higher. It's almost 60k.
58,000. It's been stuck there for quite some time. Again, this is basically funding Ethan Klein most likely, and she is the last one out of the 3. But Ethan Klein's not done. He actually filed another lawsuit against the content creator Noah Sampson, who is a very
Wait, so it's 2 out of 4 now. I wonder if he can get this one out as well.
deranged individual. As you can see, he has received a lawsuit from Ethan Klein, and he has promoted a related GoFundMe, calling Ethan Klein a Zionist millionaire podcaster. This could only work in the Hassan orbit to raise money. And a lot of this clearly stems from this video in particular, saying the genocide supporting YouTubers responded with a cameo of Ethan Klein right smack dab in the middle of this video, making some very outrageous claims about him. And you can see the GoFundMe. He's already raised over $55,000 in just over a day. I guess he has more of the juice from the Hassan orbiters, but again, this is going to serve to line Ethan Klein's pockets. This one's going to be very fun to watch as well. Thank you, Noah Sampson, for the free content. Everyone is really appreciating this. And you can see some of the responses saying, the funny thing is, Hassan Piker, multi-millionaire champagne socialist, can't help Noah here, because if he did, then everyone would, correctly, call him out for not financially helping any of the 3 women Ethan Klein sued, even though Hassan heavily implied that he would help. Well, just like Hassan said, if he was helping these people, you wouldn't even know about it, because 99% of the...
Indeed, right? Indeed. It is just over now. It is just over now, and I can't wait for it to happen. Hopefully it gets him too.
The things he's doing, especially when it comes to generosity, you'll never know about it. Well, we know he didn't help out either of the 3 women, and here with Noah Sampson, the only thing he's done is retweet a relevant post that, ironically enough, is glazing Hassan. I wonder why he did that, but we'll keep our eyes on this, and I'll let you know further updates. But for now, this is hilarious and satisfying news regarding the Frogan end of the copyright infringement lawsuits. But that's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, consider giving this video a like, consider subscribing for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams a week here on YouTube.
Yep, that is that. Okay, so that's the situation right now, is it? That's the situation right now. Right? That's the situation. So, we have 2 of them down, 2 of them to go. And I obviously really hope that all of these are going to be got. Because I want him to be got. And that's all there is to it. 2 out of 4.